ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਜੀ ਕਾ ਖਾਲਸਾ ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਜੀ ਕੀ ਫਤਿਹ
Vaheguru Ji Ka Khalsa, Vaheguru Ji Ki Fateh. Welcome everybody. This is Chetan Deep saying from Bay Area, California. Welcoming you all for another session of Khoj Gurbani. In the past few weeks, we did the Bani, commonly known as Lama the Part, and continuing the theme of marriage-related shabads that are typically sung during a Sikh wedding ceremony. We are going to pick up few shabads that are sung. So today we'll be doing the same, and the shabad. Today's shabad is again fairly common. That is sung on a Sikh wedding ceremony. Kita loriai kam so har pe aakhiye. So to kick off the today's discussion, I'm going to read the this shabad in its entirety, and then I'll go over my understanding. What did I get out of this shabad, and then we'll open it up for the evening. So this shabad actually Kita loriai kam so har pe aakhiye. It is part of Shri Rag Ki Var Mahalla Chautha Sloka Nal. So the podis or the var, basically the var is a set of podis, are by Mahalla Chautha and Sloka Nal. So in this case, for this particular podi, the podi is actually Kita loriai kam so har pe aakhiye. The sloks are by Mahalla Pella. So there are two sloks by Mahalla Pella and then Podi. So let me read them out first, and then we can go over them. Slok Mahalla Pella. Kubud Dumni Kudaya Kasayan Par Ninda Kat Chudi Muthi Krodh Chandal Kari Kaddi Kya Thiye ਜਾਂ ਚਾਰੇ ਬੈਠੀਆ ਨਾਲ ਸੱਚ ਸੰਜਮ ਕਰਨੀ ਕਾਰਾਂ ਨਾਵਣ ਨਾਉ ਜਪੇਹੀ ਨਾਨਕ ਅੱਗੇ ਉੱਤਮ ਸੇਈ ਜੇ ਪਾਪਾ ਪੰਦ ਨਾ ਦੇਹੀ ਮਹਿਲਾ ਪਹਿਲਾ ਕਿਆ ਹੰਸ ਕਿਆ ਬਗਲਾ ਜਾਕੋ ਨਦਰ ਕਰੇ ਜੋ ਤਿਸ ਭਾਵੇ ਨਾਨਕਾ ਕਾਗੋ ਹੰਸ ਕਰੇ ਪੌੜੀ ਕੀਤਾ ਲੋੜੀਏ ਕੰਮ ਸੋ ਹਰ ਪੈ ਆਖੀਐ ਕਾਰਜ ਦੇ ਸਵਾਰ ਸਤਗੁਰ ਸੱਚ ਸਾਖੀਐ ਸੰਤਾ ਸੰਗ ਨਿਧਾਨ ਅੰਮ੍ਰਿਤ ਚਾਖੀਐ ਭੈ ਪੰਜਨ ਮਿਹਰਵਾਨ ਦਾਸ ਕੀ ਰਾਖੀਐ ਨਾਨਕ ਹਰ ਗੁਣ ਗਾਏ ਅਲਖ ਪ੍ਰਭ ਲਾਖੀਐ. So when I first read this shabad, this padi along with the sloks, I was actually surprised because we typically read this shabad in a environment of festivities, and the shabad is also sung very pleasantly. Kita lodiye kam so har pe aakhiye, karaj de sawar satgur sacha kiye. But when I went to the first slok and when I read the first pankti, Kubud Dumni Kudaya Kasayan Par Ninda Kat Chudi Muthi Krodh Chandal. I mean, I personally have never heard any ragi singing this pankti as is, because I mean, when I read this pankti, at least the first one, I mean, Guru Nanak is presenting a very horrific scene, right? And I think we have gotten used to Kam Savarna ya Karaj Savarna and singing of those shabads and in a very transactional mindset. So let's actually try to understand what Guru Sahib is saying. And so let's start with the first slok. Uh, so what I understood from this entire slok is that, and the scene is, the imagination of Guru Nanak is very vivid. He's saying Muthi Krodh Chandal. I mean, he's presenting a Bikral roop of this Kubud Dumni, right? And so when the way I understood it is that Nanak is actually talking about my own inner mat or buddhi, or in this case, kubuddhi, right? So kubuddhi dumni. So like basically what he is saying is that my understanding or my worldview or my intellect or my mat or my buddhi is basically centered around myself, right? That's why he's saying kubuddhi. It's not Satgur wali mat, Satgur di buddhi. So he's saying like home wali buddhi, like where I take the center stage, that is the I that lives inside me. And he's saying that this whole worldview or this mat is very brutal and very ruthless, and it does not let me live in peace. And I have seen this to be very, very true in my own life. I mean, without any provocation or at a moment's notice, I don't know what happens to me. I suddenly get very angry, sometimes at my kids or at the world or something. And I don't know, it takes me through an emotional roller coaster in my own life. Sometimes I'm very happy, sometimes I'm very sad, and it's I have felt it. I mean, when someone says some things to me or doesn't behave as I want to, I have felt that this kubuddhi, this dumani or kasayan is actually assaulting my mind. And I have seen that happening every single day in my life. So I can very much relate to what Guru Nanak is saying. And in the next line, he's actually asking a very rhetorical question that Kari Kaddi Kya Thi Jija Chare Thi Anal. So he's saying, what lines can I draw outside, or what rituals or spiritual actions I can do outside when my own buddhi that is inside me is causing so much grief. And again, in the next line, Sat Sanjam Karni Kara Navan Now Japai, he's actually giving us hope here that what we should really do. He's giving us as an instruction to do, not just as a philosophy to follow. He's actually asking us to embed ourselves in such sanjam, such and sanjam. He said contentment and prosa and such. Basically, the right view or the right understanding of reality. The way we do it as in kadiye surt mat man buddh. So from kubuddhi to buddh by embedding ourselves in such, according to the such. These are the true lines that I need to draw. Basically, what I need to do is I need to reframe my own understanding of the world inside of me and around me. And this is the path I need to take. As Guru Sahib also says, Tirath navan jao, Tirath naam hai. Tirath shabad vichar antar gyan hai. So, and in a sense, what Nanak is saying in this whole slok, he's saying that I should keep this such wali buddhi or such wali mat in front of me, agay. I should keep this in front of me while living my life, and that does not lead me towards path. And once we do this, what Guru Nanak is saying in the next slok, kya hans kya bagla jako nadar kare, jyotis pave nanka kago hans kare. So kago hans kare, at least to me, indicates that there is a transformation going on from kubuddhi to sach wali buddhi. And as he said in the previous slok. So I went back to the previous slok in this var, Shri Radhi var, and I looked at the previous slok, and the previous slok actually was very illuminating. It said, Gur seva te har paiye jako nadar kare, manas te devte paye te aya naam hare. So again, a transformation from manas te devte paye. Similarly, kago hans kare. So there is a transformation that he's saying happens when you leave the kubuddhi and embed yourself in the such. So he's talking about an internal inner transformation. That kago is Dedi Meri Birti of Kubud Dumni Kudaya Kasayan, that Kubuddhi Wali Birti, he's saying uh, that is going to go away. Podi Kita Lodiye Kam, so Harpe Akhiye, Karash Deswar Satgur Satsakiye. So again, the word come is very prominent here. And when we read this Shabad in a very common setting at a wedding, we give a lot of emphasis to the word come because we in general have a lot of things to be done. And again, the next line, word courage, again, something needs to be done, right? And in popular usage, we use these words in a very transactional manner. The Guru Sahib got our marriage done and vya the courage, right? So, vya the courage pura hoya. So, but how Guru Sahib is using this word come here is, what's the context? I think the context is being set up by the previous two saloks that he has added to this var. That he's saying the courage of the inner transformation that's going on. Kago hans kare manas te devte paye. The buddhi to such wali buddhi kadiye surt mat man buddh. So that's the come or courage that is being done here. That's the context of this whole body. And he's saying the task that is worth doing. Har pe akhiye or satgur sach sakhiye santa sangnedan. These all, at least in my opinion, are all synonyms, and they refer to the one that is inside of me. And he's saying the task worth doing, kita lodiye come, that I have to do in this lifetime, goes through the Satgur, and I have to get in touch with my own mool. And that's where he's saying, "Pay Panjan Meherwan Das ki rakhe." That's where I take refuge. And this is how I live. Nanak Hargun Gaya, Lak Prablaki, I live my life and rejoice my life in this Sachwali Mat. So that is my understanding of this sloks and Padi. Dilpreet Virji, you want to start by sharing your thoughts?
So thank you for sharing your personal things also and explaining this in details. So I was also looking on this at a similar way. See, what I was thinking, what comes to my mind is that Guru Nanak has used whatever was going around us at that time, and then he has used that situation to explain us that, okay, whatever we are doing or practicing is not right, or but he's not saying it is not right, but he's saying that, okay, whatever you are practicing can be improved, or why don't you look at that with this angle. See, again, our Japji Sahib starts with soche soch na hovi je sochi lakhwa, right? And then he asks the question, kib sachiara hui hai. So there were some traditions going on, or people were following those traditions that time, and he questioned those traditions. And he said that, okay, that outer bath or taking outer bath will not clean your inner, or will not clean your man or mind. So he questioned that. So same way, there was a practice which people used to do, I think, that they will take a bath, and after taking a bath, before cooking, wherever their cooking place is, I think they will draw some line around it, and then they will call it is a pure now, that now everything is pure. So now by drawing this line, this area is pure, now I can make my food. Or this is the way the Brahmins, I think, used to cook food. They will draw a line and then they will cook. So he's questioning that kari kaddi kya thi hai, je chare baithiyan. Now he's saying that, okay, you are doing this and now you have taken the bath and now Japei, then he's also questioning that you have taken the bath and now you have drawn the line. But he's saying that if you have these things going inside you or within you, if these characteristics apply to you, then this what you are doing from outside is of no use, because the problem is inside. So he is questioning the tradition, or he is questioning the way people used to follow, or the what people used to think, that by doing this they will achieve something. So he is questioning those traditions in a very practical way, and he is using those situations to teach us. And then the next slok I look at, that is, there was another tradition going on there, that, okay, whoever has born in the Brahmin family has all the knowledge, or will gain the knowledge, or they are the only person want to get the knowledge, or they are the only higher caste or the people to do this. So he's saying, no, no, kya hans kya bagla jako nadar kare, jetis pave nanka kago hans kare. He's saying that it is, again, as you Chetandeep touched in the previous body, he used the word nam, or he's saying that, okay, whoever has gained the knowledge, or whoever has come out of this, or whoever has attained the truth, or whoever has whoever is practicing the truth will gain this knowledge, and that is the real transformation. Okay, not by birth or by any other way you can be higher or you can be that person, but the real transformation will happen when you apply these teachings and you when you live a truthful life. And with that in mind, if we go to the Paudi now, so then Paudi is also explaining it further, that how this will happen. Kita lodiye kam so har pe akiye karaj de sawar satgur sach sakiye. So now he's saying again the benefit or this transformation which he is talking in the previous bodies will only happen that if such a sakhi, if you are practicing the truth, or if you are the part of the truth, or if you are in hukam, then santa sang nidan amrit chakhiye. Okay, then okay, that being in the good sangat or getting the right knowledge, he's saying that that is equivalent to the amrit. And then Nanak har gun gaye, then okay, har gun gaye means again he's saying that living in the hukam or practicing this such in your life or reflecting on the teachings or guru, we can take it either way, then that is how he is saying that these things can be attained. Again, he is seeing somebody doing the ritual and he is questioning that person, and then he is explaining, and then he is also giving his message that okay, if you are doing this, this is not going to help. What is going to help is how you improve your inner self and how you practice things. That will make a difference. This outside rituals will not make any difference. And then he's saying that you have to change, and then again he's explaining the process of change, that everybody can change, that no, it is not that there is no discrimination, that only some people are entitled to change and others cannot do this. So it is not for only some people, it is for everyone. So he's saying that the equality, that this his message is for the entire humanity, and then he is explaining the process. So I think Guru Nanak has touched this or used this method of seeing somebody doing something and then questioning and then explaining and then giving his message in a very nice and a polite way, that okay, this is the way I think, or this is the change if you bring, I feel that okay, it will help you. So that's how I see it, Virji. Thank you.
Thank you, Dilpreet Virji. I think you're absolutely right that Guru Nanak was an acute observer of the society and social norms, and he took examples from our common day life, like you explained about cooking and the way they used to draw lines, and this is pure. But unfortunately, I see that happening in our own Sikh society as well. I mean, there are certain set of people who cook a certain way, especially when there is a kirtan at home, and and they don't eat langar made by anybody else, and that is all happening in the name of Guru Nanak right now. But anyways, let me move on to.
Can I
Uh,
add? Can I say something? Okay, I was talking to one.
sure, quick one, please.
Right, quickly. Okay, I will not take much time. See, this is the interesting thing you said. Okay, so I was listening to some person was explaining this, okay, that in Gurbani it says that the outer shell of the egg is broken and then we are out. So that means that Gurbani brings us out from all this params and all, what the way you mentioned it. But on the other side, what happens is that we came out of that and then we build our new shell on top of it. Okay, again we are trapped in the same thing. So yes, we came out of one trap. Guru Nanak brought us out from the old rituals, but what we have done is we have built our new rituals and a new trap for us, and we have built a new outer shell. So again, we are not independent, we are inside a shell. Thank you.
ठीक है जी, thank you वीर जी. Ekonkar ji, would you want to share your thoughts? You heard the discussion so far.
Well, Waheguru Ji Ka Khalsa, Waheguru
Waheguru
Ji
Ji
Ki
Ki Fateh.
Fateh. I first moved to Espanola and lived in the ashram there. You know, there's always lots of weddings that happen, and when you're a single person, especially a little bit older, going to weddings, it can be hard it can be a hard experience. And the thing about that I experienced was whenever I was watching someone else's wedding, this shabad brought so much comfort. It was like, it was such a beautiful, neutralizing and kind thing that the guru was saying, which is everything you want, everything you're longing for, let me know what it is and just trust that I'm going to take care of it for you. And just be happy that you're in the satsangat and you're you're getting this gift of the amrit, of the 10th gate opening, of the flow of energy coming into you. And it was, so for me, this shabad always just reminds me of this like incredible compassionate voice that the guru is speaking, maybe to people in the sangat who either are single or maybe not happy in their marriage while they're watching a wedding. And just kind of, it's like a little bit of neutral, compassionate hope. So that's my experience of that. It's not talking about the meaning so much, but what it meant to me, what it's meant to me in the past.
No, thank you so much for opening your heart and sharing what you feel. And I can completely relate to you. Maybe not in this setting of a wedding or being a single, but I mean, we all face a lot of difficulties in our daily life, like social or financial or friends and family. And Gurbani does gives us comfort. We all have and do find comfort in certain Shabbats in Gurbani since childhood, at least for me. And I think that's absolutely fine. We cannot draw lines, very rigid lines that this is the internal meaning and this is what you have to do. We need to engage with Gurbani at various levels. And even whenever I am sad or whenever I'm not I'm depressed, I do find comforts in a lot of Shabbats, even though intellectual mind might be saying, this means this and this means this. But being human, that's what being human is.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yes.
thank you for bringing that element that out.
Yeah, yes.
Gurdeep uncle.
Yeah, do you hear me?
Hanji, please go ahead.
Do you hear me? Okay, very interesting. Chetandeep gave very good explanation. Even all the other callers too, Dilpreet. And my point here is actually this Gurbani is so beautiful and it can be applied anywhere, anytime. But what we have special in our life, 5 special occasions. One is when the mother gets conceived, the baby is in the womb. There's a Bani Gurbani Vishesh repeat, they are repeating. There's a Mata ke udhar mein aaye kiya nivas. You can find or read it the whole shell from Google or anywhere else. That's the Gurbani, the mother should start repeating in her heart as long as the baby is there. I know there's God is protecting the baby everywhere, no matter what. The second occasion comes in the life when the baby takes a birth. It's very important. And we usually use the word or the Shabad from Gurbani, Puta Mata ki Asis, Nikna Visro Tumko Hara, Sada Pajo Jagdish. This is the second important time in the life. Now the third one, when one gets married, even one gets a job or a marriage. So there's a 2 other important. For marriage, if you really want to be successful, either we adopt those 2 parts which Kubud Dumini Kudaya Kasang, Parninda Katichudi, Mutti, Kroch, and Dal Kari, Kadi Kyapare, Jachare Vechenda. Either we have practiced that before we sit on the marriage fire, that we have achieved those outward symbols and all that. We ignore them. We have to be good inside. And now we are together to help each other. Then we have to pray a big shower. Kita loriai comes our pe. This is a prayer. This is this is prayer, and we give strength, and which really, and we need it. It's not easy a married life. This is like another Bhakti Marg, we call it Gris Ashram. This is the way to achieve the Lord in your life, both of them. Wife will get 2 and you will get 2. So that's a very important occasion. After that is the death time. No, we can put any shabd anytime, anywhere, but our people have categorized the senior people, the old folks, which they did good job. They pick a particular shabd to sing at the particular time, but they are leading to the same goal. Naam chalo, at the end of the life, ab ki baar baksh bande ko born pabjal fera. I know it's okay. We sing for the soul who already have departed to help the soul so that they may find a way. So to me, it's a beautiful way, even when we do our lama, and we either promise that time, we be sincere to each other, and we put a gawahi, a witness, which God Himself or Guru Granth Sahib, before He used to the fire or other things as a witness, but here we always take an oath in front of a witness, which is very high witness, which is Guru Himself or Lord Himself. So I think these are wonderful to control us mentally, psychologically. If we become little bit sincere to each other, and all these Shabad we sing, even those before, which was starting from Kududumni, it will give us a great success in the life. And love will start sprouting from our heart unspontaneously. And then we will in love, not between husband and wife, because we have our kids, because it's not easy to take care for the kids in the special these days, the stressful time, and both are working. So we need a lot of patience, which we can get not with the medicines, but I think with the Garbani touch, if we take slowly, we can achieve that. Thank you very much. I give you my overall view. I don't want to go line by line, because already Chetan Deepa, they have explained very good people before me, all of them. They explained very nicely. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Uncle, for sharing all the Shabads at different occasions in his life. Thank you so much. Thank you. Gurjeet Pirji.
Anji ji.
Anji, please go ahead.
Anji, Waheguru Ji ka Khalsa, Waheguru Ji ki Fateh.
Waheguru Ji ki Fateh.
So you have discussed it, and I'll add something what I understood. This is a Shlok Mahalla Pehla. Guru Nanak is trying to compare the, I think, the caste system in the society. Because caste system is only started by Aryans. There's no other caste systems. The Aryan society believes in that. But he's trying to tell, on one end, sab mein jyot hai soy. We have same jyot in us, but that jyot is at different levels. How is that jyot stuck in this Maya? And then he's trying to compare all those. These are very low to low caste, and most of these come from Muslims, actually. If you have ever lived in villages, I don't know. Doom was Marasi Doom is Mardana ji is referred to as Doom in local language. So he's trying to redefine that what it should be considered as Doom. It's Kubud in us. We are all born with Kubud. So everyone is to start with is a Doom. And then the second caste typic is Kasayan. Is because of the femininity, he has changed the words. From Buddhi is already a feminine word. Then he starts Kudaya. It's again against the Daya. Then that is a Kasayan. We don't have Daya Jane Ji ki. We should have that virtue in us so that it's not the outer body which is stuck. It is the inner one who has to get the mukti. So he's trying to bring everything together to the inner body. That if you don't have which mercy to get people the liberation, to feed someone with the langar is not a mercy at all. That is our system of thinking. The feed comes from Parmeshwar, we are only exchanging hands. We are doing nothing for it. The Gyan comes through the Veds to comprehend and then give it to the person who needs it. Is there? Anyone, all animals are fed by Parmeshwar. If we are fed someone and we think we are doing something, we are absolutely against Gurmat. But mukti cannot be attained that easily until we really go and contemplate. And these people who are being targeted, they took a responsibility that they will read the Veds and then they will further give this knowledge to others. But they are themselves suffering from kubud. Kubud doomani, they say if you are hating a doom, you have a kabud inside you. That's always sitting inside you. Then the kudaya, firstly, not comprehending, and if you have comprehended, then not telling the truth. Parninda is what we all love because we think that if that may bring us up. There's a difference between telling a truth and doing a ninda. All the Bhagats were on the target of these people. They used to ridicule the Bhagats that, they come from a low caste. And the Simrat Shastra says it's not possible that they will ever get the Brahmgyan. So this was Parninda because they were questioning them. This is a question to them. If a Pandit listens to these things, he will really be annoyed with all this. Then cut Chudi. Chudi is the lowest level of caste in the caste system. They have to clean people's whatever you say. So they were at the lowest, and he's bringing them to that. If you are doing ninda, you are a chuda yourself. What do you try to classify people on the base? If you see the two castes in India are always dark in color, the Nai and Chuda, because they are actually the real aboriginals of India, which were captured and were put to do the most menial jobs. So they were considered, and then Mutti is not fist, it is Thaggi Jani. Because of this, you have this krodh inside you, and that is another caste known as Chandal. I think they just may be burning bodies or something like that. I think they are not considered as Chandal. They are really on the low end. So that is Guru Nanak is comparing the spiritual wisdom which people have considered, should have considered, their spiritual wisdom on the lowest, and then how they're trying to tell people, Kari kaddi kya thiye jachare bethiye na. Then he's trying to make a food, chonka. This is come in Asa Divar. He will just, use the cow dung. They consider it, make it really pure. And then particularly he puts, no one can enter this area. But he says, they have already entered. The one who you want to stop, they're already inside you. Why don't you consider this? Those four, which he has already. Then he comes to the real Vedmat, Sach Sanjam Karni Kara. Until you obtain the Sanjam through the Sach, your actions are worthless. And the first, because he will always take a bath in the morning, the Pandit. Navan Naum Japai. He says the bath has to be of your spirit, not of your body. You're missing that. Naam Japehi. It's just say the Japna is the first stage in Gurmat. Then he starts with the Shalok, which this Shalok has come again in Shalok Shri Farid Ji Ke, that is 124, that Shalok. And those three Shloks deal with the similar sort of topic. If you read from previous, they start with Main Janeya Bada Hansa, 123, and then this is 124. Kya Hans Kya Bagla. I think there's 122 is also dealing with the similar. Hansa Dekhtarande Bagga Aya Chao. So what is Hansa and Bagga? The Manamukhs are Bagga. Bagga is crane, bug. And the other point which is worth noting is then he comes from those two birds, which are Freudji says, one is Hans, another is Bagla. Hans is the mule and Bagla is basically the man. But then sometimes the mind really goes down, it becomes Kag. It even just at the lowest level, what you will read if you know how to read Bani, the word Ravan is mentioned to Kag. The word Lakshman is still Bagla, and the Ram is, of course, Hans. This is how you have to connect this to there. So, kya Hans kya Bagla? He says, what to say of Bagla? Even lowest of the lowest can obtain the highest spot if they ask for the Nadar of the Satguru. Jyotis Pava, whom we have to get in touch with Satguru, because what is Satguru doing for us? Mil Satguru sab kaaj savar. The whole purpose of this life was to meet our mood. And if we have met that, then he starts with the paudi, Kita loriai kam, sohar pe aakhi. The har has come again. Interact with your own har, which is your mood. You interact with him, then only you will know what the success of the life is. Karj de Savar Satguru Sa Sakhi, Gurbani is actually the Sachi Sakhi of Satguru. If you want to get into a stage of Mukti, you have to go through Gurbani. Santan Sanganidan. If you have obtained that first stage, then Santan Sang is no one is here. There is not even one Sant here. These Santan Sang is all in Sachkhand. Santan Sanganidan, they then provide you. Once you become one, the Naam comes from there. Santan Sang. Then you join with the Sachkhand. We normally say Santan Sang here. I have not seen a Sant here so far. And Santa means plural. So they are all the Sachkhand, the Bhagats, Pay, Panjan, Mirvan. They are the one who are Nirpo themselves. They are the one who can break your doubts. Then you have to become a Das. That's how they look after you. Nanak Har Gun Gai. So Jap is nothing Har Gun Gai. Nanak is making it very clear that it is not repeating letters or words. Nanak Hari Gun Gai. You have to know what is the guns of Hari. And if your buddhi understand, tell the mind do this, then alak prab lakhi. The prab is alak. It's not visible to eyes, but you will attain his virtues and you will become one with him. That's the only way we can see prab. There's no other way. We have to attain the same virtues. So that's my understanding. Vaheguru Ji ka Khalsa. Vaheguru Ji ki
Thank you, Virji. I think your explanation of Dumni and Chuda and Chandal and putting that into context was very illuminating. So thank you so much for that. Virji, you heard the conversation so far. What's your take?
Guilty as charged.
We all are.
You know, so it's always this interesting polarity between sahaj and discipline and ritual. And I do think that Sukh Sahaj Anand is what the Guru is guiding us to. And that is when you're in the intuitive flow of the universe and the cosmos, you're not trying to be anything or create anything. You're just flowing with however the universe moves you. And it's very relaxed. At the same time, to achieve that consciousness requires a discipline. And I think this is where we practice a yoga. We're practicing Shabad Yoga. That the definition of yoga is really about conquering the mind and merging the vibration of the mind into infinity. And it's just that this is a different process to do that than some of the older ascetic practices of yoga. So, like for me, I do wear white a lot, and it can look ritualistic, but actually it's a very great aid to my practice. When you wear white all the time, you notice just the slightest little blemish. If there's a little spot somewhere, it actually makes you really aware of, it's a great practice in awareness wearing white. And it's also a great practice in presence and in being noticed and being available to people, of being of service to people. So as long as I'm wearing white and I'm recognizing what it's doing for my mind to help me attain Sahaj, it isn't actually a ritual at all. It's a discipline. But the moment I start wearing white because I feel like I have to do it, and I should do it, and I'm a bad person if I don't do it, or I start judging other people that they should be wearing white, and why aren't they wearing white, and they're bad if they don't wear white. And then it goes into ritual, and ritual takes you away from the whole thing. You can't be authentic, you can't be sensitive or in the flow or anything like that. And I think that everything we do, you know, that this is the journey is, you know, how do you break ritual without denying the importance of discipline, while acknowledging that we're just, the Nam and Sahaj are not actually very rigid in experience. So that's my perspective on the subject.
Thank you, Ji. I think you made a very, very important point. And while you were saying about rituals, I think rituals, as long as they are an aid or a means to an end rather than an end in itself, I think they are okay. I mean, we wake up in the morning, and many of us, we have a ritual of waking up and doing Prakash and reading Gurbani. And we read Gurbani, engage with Gurbani. That's also a ritual on a daily basis to keep us on the path, a discipline. But you're right, if we are just attached, so much attached to that, that it starts causing us pain, I think then that is a problem. So thank you for bringing that up. Meena Benji, are you there? You want to share anything at this point?
Yeah, I'm good, but it's okay. Yeah,
ठीक है,
I'll pass.
ठीक है जी, thank you. Gurjeet Veer ji, last few thoughts.
Manivir, I was reading a Shabad, just found something as a warning to us. It says, "Sabko bole apan pane, manmukh duje bol na jane." The way I'm reading all these things is that previously we need an improvement. We are just trying to build on that. It won't help us. Because when you ask Pancham Pasha, what he says, which is Guru Nanak Shabad, Kubuddh mita Gur Shabad Bichar. There's no other way to get rid of Kubuddhi. If you want to get rid of it, we have the Gur Shabad, but how to do the Bichar? I'll put one question in front of you. I just somehow recovered it. We do the Shabad Pand, Mua Pand Pali. So I put this to a lot of people that please clarify me. Because if this Shabad is for a lady, then it should be Ni Pand, Mui Pand Pali. Why it is a Mua? Why is a male word coming in there? Then there is a further restriction. So kyu manda akhi hai. If it is for a lady, it should be sa kyu mandi akhi hai. This should be the language of Gurbani. It means there is somewhere we are lost. Jit jamme rahjan. We use this too much. I was surprised that within two panktis, there are three restrictions to force us to think about that language. You can't be wrong at 3 points. Mua is a, you can say, masculine verb. So and sa will be a so is a masculine noun. Also, manda is also a masculine adjective. How come with three masculine adjectives, somehow we just went into this, that this word could be used just for the sake of ladies? I don't think so. We need to do much more Shabad Bichar if we want to clear our thought process. So this is what I'm leaving you with. If anyone has an answer, I can put it. See if grammatically also Gurbani is written with rules. If you search the word sa, it always comes with feminine words. Never comes with a male. If you say word so always come with the masculine words. So why he has written sa? We have to just check it. Then akhiya, yeah, mandi, why it's not mandi? Because there's a word mandi in Gurbani. So these things we have to keep on improving through Shabad Vichar. Vaheguru Ji ka Khalsa, Vaheguru Ji ki Fateh.
Thank you, Veerji. Yes, we do need to do a lot of Shabad Vichar. So I'm leaving with you all with this thought. So I'll see you all next week. Vaheguru Ji ka Khalsa, Vaheguru Ji ki Fateh.